It is time for another episode of the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series. I'm your host, Steve Casillo, and you are doing one of three things right now, or maybe a couple of things. You're either watching the video on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, or you're listening to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Whatever it may be, we appreciate you being here today. As we do every Friday, we bring in, right over there, Mr. Phillip Washington, Jr. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. How's it going, Mansfieldians?
I was going to say hi to the Mansfieldians. And you ready for the weekend?
I am. It's going to be a great weekend.
You've got your scarf. I've only got my lanyard, but you've got your scarf around your neck, and you're ready for Monday's deep freeze.
Yeah. Is it gonna, I heard it's not going to be as bad as people are fearing it's going to be. I just hear it's going to be cold.
They're talking the possibility of closing schools, and at least I received an email from our local school district with the inclement weather procedures. At least they're preparing themselves.
Yeah, that's smart and wise. Better to be safe than sorry.
And the trucks are out there actually preparing the roads, and so it's.
See, look, we're getting ready. For those who are talking about Texas, we are changing our preparation. We're doing better.
Yeah. Well, we're not here to talk about the weather. We are here to talk about understanding the real economy. And when the word economy comes up, my head goes, it spins. So we're going to please use second grade terminology here. At least let's talk about economy 101 here. Let's talk about the real economy.
Yeah, economy in a simple term is how you allocate resources.
Okay.
Right. That's what economy means, is how you allocate resources. And think of the real economy as the perfect allocation of resources. Right. Perfection, like if you look at how the solar system works, how the earth works, how nature works, it works perfect, right? When it has problems is when man gets involved and we want to place our limited knowledge.
Oh, we messed it up again, didn't we?
Right. And so that's why you break into the financial economy versus the real economy. Like if you took away humans from the way an economy, in a perfect economy without human emotion, without human negative emotion, with just optimism, because I think of Mother Nature as super optimistic, but without the human pessimism, then you would have growth and understanding. So we would understand things better, which is like productivity, and if our understanding grew at 2%, which means that if we want to implement the productivity gains, we could produce things we can produce more things at the same rate at 2% better, or we can produce the same amount of things and it'd be 2% cheaper, right? That's what productivity growth is, right? And so in that perfect world, an investor would lend money at 2%, right? Or give money and earn 2% and close the gap. There would be that's in a perfect world. There's no risk, right? It's just productivity and capture, right? There's opportunity to invest money to capture these gains for society. Investor gives them the money. They get rewarded 2%. Everybody works out. That's how it would work in a perfect world, right? But we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a world where we got free choice to feel how we want to feel, which means you get a real economy and you get a financial economy. And the financial economy is what dictates values from the perception of us. And so you got to navigate that as an investor, right? You got to do your best to align your investment with the real economy and ignore the financial economy.
Yeah.
Did I go too out in outer space on that?
I have a very feeble mind, so you know what you said, allocation of resources. That makes a lot of sense to me.
A better way to explain it is it's more like what's something that you have to do where you have to learn to focus and block out distractions. Everything.
Something I have to do to block out. You know what blocks out distractions is when I play music.
Yeah. Okay.
And especially if it's a song that I know like the back of my hand, that I can just close my eyes, I can play the song, I know the lyrics, and I can just focus, for instance, right there in the middle of that the dot of that camera, and or just play with my eyes closed, and that blocks out everything else.
And so would you say that like it takes mental clarity? It takes mental clarity to find the focus to play to your genius.
I would think so.
So same thing with investing. It's more like we have all these ideas of the economy based on like what people told us it should be, right? Based on past experience, based on our parents, based on our teachers, based on what the government is saying. We're saying, and so those beliefs and ideas get in the way of seeing like the real economy, because the real economy, like I say it over. I'm like a preacher that go to church every single day and just teach people how to be happy.
Preach it.
I go. If you want to find the real economy, talk to 20-year-olds and see what they like to do, right? And if you want to find the misperception of where there is decreasing value, ask them what they don't do. So for example, they don't watch cable TV, they don't watch regular TV, they don't watch radio. What do? They watch YouTube, listen to podcasts, right? You ask them, hey, would you ever own? Like, do you have a problem with digital currency? They'll almost look at you like, why are you asking me that stupid question? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so, like, it's not difficult to find the real economy. The bias of our past experience stops us from seeing it, which makes for a terrible situation if you're investing or making business, because everybody's making investment and business decisions based on, like, your preferences. But the market doesn't care about your preferences. The market cares about the real preferences of the real economy, which is driven by the newer generation.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So I'm in my 60s. You're in your 30s. We should both be looking at what would be people who would be grandchildren of grandchild age to me, of children age to you. What are they interested in? Because that's going to carry into the next generation of investing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's an unbiased appreciation of the newer generation.
So
ideas.
What are your kids into?
Man, Roblox. The Christmases have been a lot less physical presence than what we experienced, and a lot more digital presence.
Okay.
So like digital goods and services is dope. Like my youngest is so excited when he got all these Roblox gift cards and he had like all these Roblox money. Like him and his homies were like legit excited about like how rich he was in Roblox money. You know what I mean? Like think about how crazy that sounds to most people, right? But it was what he likes.
But to someone like me, now your child is young enough to be, to me, a grandchild, and so I don't even know what Roblox is. I would assume
it's like digital money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, money he can spend in the game to buy things and flex amongst his buddies, right? By the way, like after school, they come home, they're on the iPad playing in worlds together, building worlds, digital worlds, both of them. And matter of fact, both of them play Roblox now.
So what, similar to Minecraft or?
Yeah, similar to Minecraft, but more flexibility, more things you can do. Like Roblox is really becoming like it's becoming like a social media platform for kids, because they got friends and followers and things like that.
They put the headphones on and talk to each other. And that's awesome.
But there's lots. So like I've had some parents say, I don't allow my kids to spend that digital money because it's stupid, right? And I go, it's stupid to you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like hip hop was dumb to my parents, And now hip hop is celebrated around the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and the point of this thing is when you're investing, the return that you want to make is, I want to have my money grow at a level that also grows, that also makes money after I factor in money devaluation, right, or money going down. Because what's happening now, and this is the point of this, is the real economy is going to capture the real value, right? And the governments are going to print money and devalue the old economy investments because they're not growing at a higher enough rate to go past the money printing rate, right? Meaning, let's beat up a business, beat up cable TV. You know, like they might grow at 2% a year for the next decade. Yeah. And then their stock may grow at 7% a year or 10% a year because the government created money that they were able to borrow and then buy back their shares, right, to create financial manipulation. So 1% growth, let's say 7% from them borrowing money. Mm-hmm. So 8%. But if the government printed money at 12% as a whole, right, their value may be higher, but it's underwater relative to what really matters, which is purchasing power. And so you really lost. But a lot of people are getting fooled because they don't know the difference between the financial economy and the real economy. And so that's the detailed work. But the simple work is just to say, well, if I just put my assets into things of the future, I don't got to worry about all the economic stuff, right? It'll take care. It'll grow at a faster rate than the money printing rate because it's the real economy. You know what I mean? I think that's my point. You hit it on the nail. Yeah. If you don't know, you got to worry about economics, right? I mean,
and you mentioned that, all right. So, and I agree with this. Yeah. People are not watching cable TV anymore. That with smart TVs and with streaming
and YouTube. I mean, YouTube.
Oh my gosh. Like, so now you get the double whammy where the cable company is now offering landlines, and it's like, wait, what are they thinking?
Yeah, they have people they're desperate. I mean, they really are desperate. Like the fact that we're still talking about coal mining companies in 2023 and they're still alive, it just shows you that these things are not going to die because there's, you know what I'm saying? There's people that are always going to hold on to old beliefs, and that's the beauty of free will. Yeah. But I'm just trying to awaken people to say, like, just stop judging economic ideas. By the way, you don't have to be 20 to see this. You just got to be non-judgmental. Like it's not rocket science. Like some people go, oh, Phillip, how do you see this? Oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're thinking, I'm not thinking outside the box. I'm thinking in the current box. You know what I'm saying? I say, you're just thinking of a box that was invented in 1978. You know what I mean? Like, just,
hey, what's wrong with 1978?
Was that when you were born?
No.
I'm just saying.
So,
I'm talking about a specific mental person who I'm talking about.
You mentioned on your podcast, Wealth Building Made Simple, I believe the quote was, the next decade is going to be awesome.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Because if like in martial arts, right, you learn that you can overpower people through strength, but the best way to overpower somebody is through momentum, like allowing them to go where they're going to go and just let them go, and then you go where you're going to go, where it feels natural. And so if you're somebody where you're going, man, like housing is expensive, or this bureaucratic organization is stopping me from getting where I want to go, or these people are in my way, right? Because there's this big bureaucracy or people who think they know better than me, right? Now you're living in a time period where you're like, I can fight those people and resist those people, but they're stronger. I'm going to lose that fight. You can just let them go where they're going to go, which is going to be like to negative real returns over time. And then you can just flow what feels right. Like the people that are 20 years older, they are not responding to people being mad at them for whatever they should be doing, because they're like, you don't even know what's happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the world is moving past you, and you're just frustrated because you don't understand, and you need us to buy into your shit to keep your shit alive. But it's dead.
Yeah.
And you can come over here if you want to, but this chastising me, you know what I'm saying? And some young people are still caught up in it, poor people, because their parents have like gotten to their head and made them think that they're dumb. And I'm freeing them saying, no, like, you're right. Like, they're wrong and you're right. Like, go towards what feels right because the world is changing and you're right. Like, nobody wants to work for $18 an hour at Walmart. People, but it's a good work experience. What is that going to teach you about the future? The future is not going to be working in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at what's happening and extrapolate it out. Like the parents who are saying, I don't want my kids to game. That's going to be the future of work. Like, if they don't understand how to navigate that world emotionally, intellectually, they're going to be like weirdos and left behind, right? Because you kept them from learning how to navigate that world, because they're going to be grown one day and they're going to do what they want to do.
So if I'm receiving this correctly, be non-judgmental, follow the future, which is our kids and our kids' kids, and go forth and prosper.
Go forth and prosper. It's going to be amazing. Like, it's going to be I'm super excited. I'm not afraid of any of this, you know, but I can understand if you are, you know, I call it like if you are misogynistic and you're afraid of women growing in strength and power, and you probably should be fearful for the next generation of the world, right? But if you love women and you appreciate their additive quality to the world to balance it out, then you're going to be fine, right? Same thing with technology.
There you go. If someone wanted to reach out to Phillip Washington Jr. to embrace the future, how can they reach out to you?
Best way is stonehillwealthmanagement.com. That's stonehillwealthmanagement.com.
That right over there, Phillip Washington Jr. We do this every Friday. Phillip, stay warm, and let's do it again next week.
Thanks, Steve.